What we do to the planet, we do to ourselves. You can help keep America beautiful. Visit KAB.org.
Creative Signs, we make large and small property and business signs, full-color, digitally printed banners, as well as vinyl lettered ones for celebrating special events. Yard signs for selling your home or making special announcements like your graduating senior. Turn your vehicle into a moving billboard with vehicle lettering or magnetics. Creative Signs, Monroe, 770-267-7368.
Walton Wellness is truly a unique organization. It is dedicated to the prevention of lifestyle-related chronic illness such as diabetes and heart disease. One of the things that makes Walton Wellness so unique is what it is built upon, the building blocks, the way that it's designed. And we designed it on what we have coined the wheel of community wellness. We have visualized it through this graph, which is actually the wheel. And it's explained like this. The blue ring, the inner ring, is called our influences. Family, friends, knowledge, lifestyle, DNA, education level. These are all the major influences, or what I like to refer to as filters, that we make our choices, our life decisions based upon. The next ring is called choices we make. That is the choices that we make in our lives. Do we regularly exercise? What kind of diet do we eat? The neighborhood that we live in, our occupation. All of these things are the choices that we make, especially in regards to our health. The next ring is what we call the environment. That's the community where we live. Do we have sidewalks that enable us to go out with regular exercise? Do we have grocery stores with adequate fresh fruits and vegetables? What's the religious attitudes in our community? What region of the country do we live in? What type of community organizations do we have? Then what makes the part about Walton Wellness being so unique is this outer ring, the fourth ring, which is the yellow ring. That is what we call the prevention catalyst. That is where Walton Wellness has gone into the community and solicited partners from the elected officials, the public schools, churches, civic organizations, law enforcement. We've solicited them as partners to come in with us and create projects that create a culture of health in our community.
Director of Marketing here in Monroe at Clearview Regional Medical Center. Thank you so much for tuning in today and joining us. We've got lots of great events coming up here at Clearview with several of our different programs. If you're not already familiar, we have 2 different programs that you can join as an individual here in the community to get certain perks and bonuses, sometimes even some different events going on and different giveaways. One of them is our Senior Extra program, and that is open for anyone to join, and we most specifically target our seniors. We have weekly seminars on everything from colon health to heart health, stroke prevention, CPR classes, all sorts of different events that are going on for our seniors to learn about and be educated about in order to keep their selves healthy. So that's our Senior Extra program, and our other program is called Cuddle Bugs, and that is for new or expecting mothers to sign up to receive a weekly email that updates them on the progress of their pregnancy, as well as giving them also some helpful hints and tips for taking care of themselves and their bodies and their babies. If you've not been out here to visit us at our new facility, we certainly welcome you to come and take a tour at any time. We have a 50-bed facility here, and we currently are undergoing a 27-bed expansion to add 27 more inpatient rooms, 7 of which will be devoted completely to joints and to orthopedics, so that we will have a Clearview joint pavilion here that everyone can come and take advantage of our great facility and our great services. We have tons of different service lines, everything from orthopedics to geriatrics and neurology, whatever you need. We have someone on staff here that can serve all of your needs. So if you're looking for a physician, we have a physician referral line, and that number is 1-877-933-2762. You can call that phone number and get information about any of our referral physicians here that are on staff and their specialties, so you can find someone to meet all of your needs. Additionally, our website is a great source of information, and that is www.clearviewregionalmedicalcenter.com. It's a bit of a mouthful, but go there to get information about all of our classes, about all of our different programs that we have, the Senior Extra program as well as the Cuddlebugs program. You can also find information about our doctors, about upcoming events, and any other sorts of resources that you might need from us here as your community hospital. So if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to contact us through the website or calling us directly here at the hospital. We would love to serve all of your healthcare needs and be your true community hospital. So I'm Emily Russell at Clearview Regional Medical Center.
Hello and welcome to the Monroe Art Guild. Today we're having our yard sale. Today is April the 6th, so we're having our yard sale. But it's one of our fundraisers for the year. But I also want to encourage everyone out there to come by our middle and high school show, which will start April the 11th. It'll go through the 30th. We'll have the opening reception on April the 14th, which is a Sunday, from 2 until 4. And we're showcasing the middle and high schools throughout Walton County, both public and private. So we're really excited to have our teachers pick out their pieces and then have our entire main gallery space filled with those works. So if you have a middle or high school student that you know, come out and see if their school is being represented, and come out and support the show that we have. And that show is being sponsored by Gene and Kenneth Murray. So if you see them, please tell them thank you for being a sponsor of the middle and high school show. A few other upcoming events that we're having going on is on April the 20th, we're going to make a trip out to the Linden House Art Center. We're going to leave the Monroe Art Guild back parking lot as a group and go there around 10 o'clock, meet at 10:30 at the Art Center in Athens, and then we're just going to see the current shows, the 38th juried exhibition at the Linden House Art Center. And we have some of our own members who are participating in that show. So we want to go out and support the artists that are members, but then also support the arts in general. So we're going to do that on April the 20th. And then also we have in May, we have Richard Pruitt, his solo show. And then we have in June, we have Donna England. She also will have her solo show. And then of course we'll have the summer member show coming up in July and August, which the call for entries for that show will go out around Memorial Day, so the last week in May. But then also for the kids we have summer art camp, and right now we have 11 different sessions set up. So for ages 5 through 8, 9 through 12, and 13 through 17, we have art camp set up. So if you are looking for something for your favorite youngster to do this summer, please feel free to give me a call. The number is 770-207-8937. And then also you can check it out on our website, monroeartguild.org, or you can send me an email at monroeartguild@hotmail.com. And I can give you the application form and then all the information about what weeks are what sessions. But we'll have pretty much all that information ready for you by the time we do the Super Summer Kids Activity Fair, which is something the Downtown Development Authority is doing through the Main Street program. And I believe that's on April the 25th, which should be a Thursday from 4 until 7. So we'll have our booth set up there, and we'll have all that information available for any of you to stop by for that event. So thank you so much for coming out and visiting today, but we hope to see you soon. Come out to the space and enjoy our sculpture garden here in the downtown.
But I'm Emily Russell, and I work here at the hospital. I do marketing, and I'm over the Senior Extra program. So if any of y'all are not getting the emails or not getting the mailings for the Senior Extra program, please let me know, and I'll get you all signed up today. I want to make sure you're getting all that information. So we're just so glad that y'all are here today. Welcome to Clearview. I know I see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, so thank you for choosing us. And those of you that might be your first time here, thank you so much for coming and joining us today. I have a good friend with me today, Miss Jennifer Sapp, and she is one of the marketing personnel that works with Athens Orthopedic Clinic, which is where Dr. Harkins practices. So I'm going to let her tell you guys a little bit about their clinic if you're not already familiar, and their locations and all of that good stuff. So go ahead.
Thanks. So like Emily said, my name is Jennifer Sapp. I work in marketing and public relations at Athens Orthopedic Clinic, which we fondly just call AOC. It's a long name. But how many of y'all are currently patients of Dr. Harkins? One. That's good. And how many of you know him from church or somewhere else? I know he's pretty popular in the community. But I've got this little boy over here, so maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to see him on your way out. He's super cute. But I want to tell you a little bit about Athens Orthopedic Clinic and why we're here. I'm not sure if you remember, the location here in Monroe used to be called Providence Orthopedics. It was actually started by Dr. Harkins, and in the last couple of years we've merged with Athens Orthopedic and Providence, so now we're all under one umbrella, and we've started new locations also in Loganville and Snellville since that merge. So we go all the way up towards Royston and Livonia and as far south as Greensboro. So we've got a lot of different locations as well as an urgent care facility in Athens. So if you're ever in Athens and need us for your orthopedic urgent care, you can stop by. It's right next to the Athens Regional Hospital. And also we work with occupational medicine. We have our own imaging center, and x-ray is at every single location that we have. I would like to hand out some information to you guys so that you can know a little bit more about us. You can actually take this home with you. We have 17 physicians and about 15 physician assistants. So sometimes if you're in our Monroe office, you might see Phil Burke. He's one of our PAs. What's unique about our practice is that we're subspecialty, so all of our doctors, after they finished medical school, went on to do a fellowship or some other sort of training in a certain area of the body. So for Dr. Harkins, he does sports medicine, and he also focuses on upper extremities, so like the shoulder and the elbow and the hand. He's, like I said, subspecialized, so if you need him for any of those things, you know that you're getting extra good care for that part of your body. If you, for some reason, needed a foot and ankle specialist, you can always go see Dr. Joe Johnson in our Athens office. If you need a back specialist, you can see Dr. Price. He comes to Loganville. Since they're all subspecialized, you're really getting the best care that you can possibly get for your body or for your loved ones. We do appreciate your referrals, and the word of mouth is really how we like to spread our name. We do a little bit of advertising here and there. We like to have our billboards up so you can see the doctor's faces as you drive back and forth on 78. Yeah, so we like to have those, but really we do appreciate it when you tell your friends and family about us. There's nothing like hearing a good story from someone. So if y'all have any success stories, I'd love to hear them. If you have any questions, I'm available for you. And like I said, my name is Jennifer. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, and up here I also have a list of the insurances that we take. So if you're interested in taking one of these when you go, you can pick one up. Or if you'd like one now, you can just let me know.
Well, I appreciate you all coming out today. I'm sorry I'm running late today.
We didn't want you to hurry.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have surgery on the day you're supposed to talk, right? So I wanted to talk to you today about joint pain. And if you haven't figured it out, this is my littlest one. This is Andy.
Hey, Andy.
And we'll see if he'll let me put him down. Can you go see Mama?
Mommy.
Can you go see Mama? Well, we'll see how this goes in here. So Matt Patcher with Wright Medical was kind enough to bring in some samples of some joint replacements, and this is what they look like. I don't have anything about total shoulders in this talk, but that's what total shoulder would look like. This would go, if this were a shoulder here, your humerus, this would go down into the bone there, and then the head here would become your new ball. Okay. So there's a lot of advancements with joint replacements these days. And so we'll talk about a little bit of those today as we go along. Just a little bit about my practice. Just hit. Okay. Looks like we've got some extra stuff there.
That's okay.
Anyway, I'm David Harkins. I've been here in Monroe for almost 8 years now. I'm part of Athens Orthopedic Clinic, and my specialty is shoulder and elbow surgery.
Daddy! Daddy!
I'm right here. My specialty is shoulder and elbow surgery. I did another year. I did my residency, which was 5 years, and then did an extra year in nothing but doing shoulders and elbows. I did a lot of shoulder replacements, so that's where my expertise is. But I do a lot of total hips and total knees, and that's really what I'm going to talk about today. I also do a lot of sports medicine. I go to 3 offices. There is one here in Monroe. We have one in Loganville, and then we have one in Snellville. I operated out of 3 facilities here at Clearview, at Eastside Medical Center where I just came from, and we have an outpatient surgery center in Athens. I do most of the surgeries that are going to stay overnight in either of the hospitals, and then a good bit of the outpatient surgeries, a lot of rotator cuffs and whatnot in our surgery center in Athens. So the reason to do joint replacement is typically because you have arthritis. And what arthritis is basically wearing your joint out. God bless us with some cartilage. It covers the ends of the bone at the joint. And so that cartilage allows us to walk, for those joints to move together smoothly without any friction. But once you have either an injury or you have a relative, a mom and dad who had some arthritis and you inherited it from them, you start wearing that cartilage out. And so arthritis basically is wearing your joint out. So wearing that protective covering of cartilage off of the joint so that you're rubbing bone on bone. And it's kind of like wearing the tread off of the tire. But you can retread a tire, you cannot retread your knee unless you have surgery. So there are some options that we'll talk about before surgery, and then we'll talk about the surgery itself. Let me move over here so I can actually see. So as you wear out your joint, you can experience various levels of pain. Typically, it'll be a progressive pain that will start with some stiffness in the morning. As you're up on your feet a good bit and walking during the day, you'll feel more of that throbbing, that aching type pain. Then at night, you'll have some throbbing pain that may keep you up at night. And that's your typical symptoms of arthritis. Now, you can have difficulty getting up from a seated position. You can have difficulty getting up out of the bed, difficulty getting in and out of the car, going up and down stairs. Those are all symptoms of arthritis. Whether you feel it in your hip, and in the hip, you'll feel it in the groin, and that's typically where you'll notice arthritis type pain. That's joint pain that will be right there in the groin area. In the knee, it'll just be all over. You can feel it radiating down sometimes. For hip arthritis, you can have pain that radiates down to the knee. For knee arthritis, you can have pain that radiates up to the hip, and you can have pain that radiates down to the calf. So there can be a variety of ways that it presents, but typically that's how it goes. Now you can have a case where you've got some underlying arthritis, but it's not really bothering you, and I see this all the time. But then you miss a step, or you twist your knee, or you fall out of the bed, or you trip over the grandkids' toys or something along those lines, and all of a sudden you have some sharp pain that just can't go away, that just won't go away. And that is typically arthritis type pain as well. I'll see that a good bit when someone comes in with an injury, but take an x-ray and they've got some pretty bad arthritis. And I say, how long has this been bothering you? And they say, well, it was just last week, just for a few days. But that's another way that arthritis can present. So it can be an acute situation, but generally it's a prolonged course of gradual worsening pain. And we talked a little bit about this too. With hip or knee arthritis, you can have problems kneeling down, squatting down, getting up out of a chair, of course climbing stairs, even finding a comfortable position. Once you get pretty advanced arthritis, even when you're sitting down, you're not comfortable when you're resting. And that's when it becomes a real issue. And for most people, it becomes a real issue when you can't do your recreational activities. You know, if a guy can't go out and fish anymore, it's a problem. When you come to me in the office, I'll do a physical exam on you. And typically, these are some of the things that can show up on a physical exam, especially with the knee. With the hip, you won't necessarily be tender to touch because the hip is deep. So it's hard to put a finger and palpate the hip joint, but the knee itself, you'll be tender to touch right on the joint line. You can have some weakness in the muscles, and that's really because you start limiting your motions. You start not climbing stairs, or going really slow, or not walking anymore because it hurts to walk, or not going up and down hills because it hurts to do that. And so you'll start getting some atrophy in your muscles. You'll lose some range of motion, and that's typically because part of arthritis is development of bone spurs. And so, especially with the hip, you'll lose what's called internal rotation first. So when you try to internally rotate the hip, those bone spurs will collide together, and you can't rotate. With the knee, you'll lose some motion just because you have bone spurs around the knee, forming around the knee. So in the knee, there'll be more around here on the edges of the knee, and then around the kneecap. And so they'll limit your motion, especially if you have some in the back. They'll limit your ability to flex all the way, and they'll limit your ability to extend all the way. You'll have some grinding, some clicking and popping, even some feelings of giving way, locking, and that's because the joint's not even anymore. It's kind of like a road, an asphalt road. It's been well traveled. You'll start to see potholes, right? So that's basically what your joint does. It starts wearing out, and then it forms uneven surfaces. And so that clicking, that popping, that giving way, or that locking that you feel and you would describe is because of those uneven surfaces. Because once you start trying to move and put some weight on that, you'll feel some slipping and gliding on those surfaces, and it feels like it's giving out on you. You can get some fluid on the knee as well with some severe arthritis. The diagnosis, other than physical exam, is really made by x-ray. You don't need an MRI. I'll have some people come in and say, well, I think I need an MRI. But your x-rays tell the story. If you've got some joint space, you should have joint space that's about this big. If it's gone down to nothing and you've got bone spurs, then you have arthritis. There's no doubt about it. So the x-rays pretty much tell the story, and that's really the only workup for diagnosis that we need. Now, what are the treatment options? Well, it depends on how severe your arthritis is, but typically we can start you off with just some diet and exercise, talk to you about some weight loss, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. You can use an assistive device like a cane or a walker, really just to help stabilize yourself. You can use some medications. Some anti-inflammatory medicines are the mainstay of treatment, and they're ibuprofen, Motrin, Aleve, Celebrex, all the ones that you've heard of. Pain medication will help dull the pain for a little while, but it does not get to the source of the problem. The anti-inflammatories get to the source of the inflammation and really help you a lot more than pain medicine will. Cortisone, either taking it by mouth or a shot of some steroids, some cortisone medicine, will help tremendously to decrease that inflammation. What cortisone is steroid medication is basically a high-powered anti-inflammatory medicine. So it decreases the inflammation in the knee or the hip, which is what arthritis causes. That rubbing bone on bone causes inflammation in the knee or the hip, and the anti-inflammatory medicines and the cortisone really decrease that inflammation. Glucosamine is a pill that you can take. It's made from shellfish, so if you're allergic to shellfish, don't take it. It's a substance that is naturally in the body, so that the thought is you're replenishing that. Cartilage is made of, one of the components of cartilage is glucosamine, and so one of the thoughts is you're trying to replenish that. Now, when glucosamine first came out and chondroitin, when they first came out, it was the best thing since sliced bread, right? And I'm sure you all remember seeing the commercials, and you still see some commercials out there that tout that it's the best thing since sliced bread. A lot of the first studies were done by the companies that made glucosamine and chondroitin, and once some independent studies started coming through, they showed that it maybe wasn't quite as good as what it was cracked up to be, but it does seem to work in some individuals. So what I tell my patients is, if it works for you, go for it, use it, because you need to use what works for you, because anti-inflammatories don't work for everybody, and glucosamine may work for you. So if it does, keep using it. If it doesn't, don't buy it.
Is there any bad effects from the glucosamine?
It can alter your blood sugar levels, but that's about it, unless you're allergic to shellfish. Viscose supplementation is basically injecting fluid into the knee that is the consistency of joint fluid, so it's basically lubricating your knee. It's kind of like putting oil in your car. And so you're going to decrease the friction in the knee by putting more fluid in your knee. And that's how that works. And that does decrease the inflammation as well. And there's a variety of braces as well that will take the pressure off of the knee and allow you maybe some more longevity of the knee prior to surgery. One of the biggest things that you can do is lose weight. You carry 4 times your body weight through your knees. So if you lose 10 pounds, it's like taking 40 off your knees. So imagine if you were someone that could lose 100 pounds. That's taking 400 pounds off your knees. So it is huge, and it reduces the stresses placed on your knees when you're walking, kneeling, squatting, going up and down stairs. It's a tremendous relief of that stress if you can lose the weight. Eating right, of course, is going to help you lose that weight and stay healthy the best you can. Some exercises you can do are basically just some range of motion exercises. And if you are sent to physical therapy, their goal really is, number one, to get your range of motion back. And the reason that's important is, both for before surgery and after surgery. If you have good range of motion, then your knee and your hip are going to function more properly. It relieves any stiffness that you might have, and there's some issues with stiffness, especially with the knee, that can cause some complications after surgery. So if you have a knee that can't extend all the way, and then you have one that is where the foot's out to the side, the nerve, the popliteal, or excuse me, the nerve, perineal nerve on the side, which raises the foot up, can get stretched out when you straighten the knee during surgery and cause a foot drop. So you want to keep that knee as mobile as you can before surgery. You want to do strengthening exercises, which is going to keep you more active, but it really helps in the post-operative period. Very rarely have to send anybody to an inpatient rehab for a total knee. Very rarely have to send anybody to inpatient rehab for a total hip. And the reason is I try to keep doing some strengthening exercises before surgery, so they're strong and ready to do the post-operative rehab program. So most people go home in 3 days. You want to stay active. One of the biggest misconceptions that I hear and I see is someone saying that I can't do anything because I have arthritis. If you sit on the couch and become a couch potato, then you do not produce any joint fluid in your knees or your hips. The more you walk, the more you're active, the more you produce joint fluid, which lubricates your joints. So you want to stay as active as you can, as much as you can tolerate. Again, physical therapy, the goal is range of motion and strength. Just what I've been talking about already. It's just to keep you active and keep you strong, so that if you do have a joint replacement, you'll be ready for that rehab program afterwards. And there are some braces that will offload the knee. It's actually called an offloader brace. I think I have a picture in it somewhere. One of the things you can do is just for anything else, just walk. Walk to the mailbox and back. Walk around the block. Just stay active by keep walking. And like we talked about before, you can use a cane or a walker to just help stabilize yourself. I wouldn't want you on a walker full time, but if you have to, you have to. Like we talked about before, the pain medicine to help control your pain from the inflammation you have with arthritis will work for a little while. Lortab, Ultram, Percocet, they'll help dull the pain, but it won't get rid of the pain. So the mainstay is generally anti-inflammatory medicines. And again, what they do is just decrease that inflammation in the knee or the hip so that you can tolerate getting around. There are some new products on the market now. There are anti-inflammatory medications in a cream form. And I've pretty much gone to prescribing these more than the pills. We've all heard about people that have heart problems with taking with anti-inflammatory medicines. Can raise your blood pressure. So if you take them in conjunction with some blood pressure pills, then there are some studies out there that show that they raise your blood pressure. So a lot of people have high blood pressure. And most of my patients come in at least on one blood pressure medicine, or they've had an ulcer in their stomach before. Those are really contraindications to giving those pills nowadays. So I would rather give a cream that has the same medication that you would take by mouth, but it's in the cream form, and you can rub it on your knee or your hip up to 4 times a day. And what that'll do is the same thing. It'll get soaked through the skin, through the tissues, into the joint, and only about 1% or less gets into the bloodstream. So if you have an ulcer, it won't bother you. If you have high blood pressure, it typically won't bother you. So it's much safer nowadays to give the medicine in a cream form. There are pharmacies out there now, and more of them are doing a compounding cream. And they'll put an anti-inflammatory medicine, a steroid medicine, and a couple other things. There's different combinations, but it's the same concept. You can rub it on your joint, and it will take the pain away instead of taking another medicine.
Good morning. Thank you for watching. I'm Dina Huff, Executive Director for the Partnership for Families, Children, and Youth. And today I'm here at the Bridge of Georgia with Miss Tammy Burt, and I'm so excited to be here because this is such a wonderful thing, and I know Tammy this has been a dream of yours for a long time. Yes. So I want Tammy to share with you about the Bridge of Georgia because it is such a needed thing here in Walton County. So we'll just get started. Tammy, okay. Tell us how this all come about.
Well, a colleague of mine, Brooke Dingler, and I were working with different populations of children with autism and special needs through Stone Soup and FACES. And then also in our regular job, we worked with lots of families who got many hours of therapy. And we saw such a division between the families that could afford many services and families that couldn't. And so we began to really try to seek out a way to bring a lot of those costs down for families. So in thinking about what would happen here, we wanted to do two things. Families with children with special needs spend way too much time in their cars going from one place to another for therapies, medical things, all different kinds of things. And secondly, the costs are so high that very often it's really hard on families. So those two things, not having good quality time together as a family and then having all your funds channeled into this one child. And so we looked at how we could provide a vast array of services under one roof so that children and families could come to one place. The children would learn to feel very comfortable in that place, and they could have many different services under that roof, as well as mom and dad. So as we began, we knew that we would want to provide ABA therapy, which is applied behavior analysis, and we knew that we would want to provide a inclusion preschool. And so those are the two things that have started right now. Across the next year, before the end of 2013, there will be many other services that will open. We're really excited about April because we've got several things opening this month. We've just hired our speech therapist. We also will be having a physical therapist and an occupational therapist as well. We have our counselor from Samaritan Counseling coming on very soon to do sibling support groups because having a child with special needs in the home can really profoundly affect the siblings. So he's going to be providing that very soon. We will be opening our sensory-friendly hair salon, and that's a big deal for kids with autism specifically, that the sounds and the feeling of the vibration and all that stuff is really hard for them to handle. And so we're partnering with several different groups to make that happen, but that hair salon will also be one of our adult work sites. In the fall, we'll be opening our vocational program, and our man that is leading that is very passionate that young adults with special needs be placed in many opportunities before they select one that they really feel like they could move forward and master and do really well at. He doesn't want them to come in and be plopped into a program and us decide that's what works for them. So he has about 8 tracks that he wants to work with them on. And those, many of them will start out on site, like food service, landscaping, custodial, the hair salon, pottery, several other things. We'll start out on site, and then we will partner with people in the community to get them into work sites with a job coach. We're really excited. The vision of the bridge is to create that bridge that brings families with children with special needs to reconnect them with the community. Sometimes they become really isolated and separated from the community. And so the bridge is not just about those children and families with special needs. We welcome everyone. Our preschool is open to everyone. Our services that will be here are open to everyone. This wing in front of us will be a medical wing. Right now we have secured a neurologist, a pediatric neurologist, a dentist, and a biological doctor that works a lot with the diet, things that help children's brains develop, things like that. So she works largely with nutrition and things like that. And then we have an ophthalmologist as well. University of Georgia will be sending students to do psychological testing as well. They provide that on site at UGA, and they will be providing that here as well. Wow. So many different things going on. We'll be having parent trainings at night. We're going to have Monday nights at the bridge where we'll have our first set of classes will be gluten-free cooking, grandparenting, your grandchild with special needs, and sign language. Wow. And so we'll have different things like that going on for parents. Some respite nights, day camps. We have several camps coming up. Our operational hours are we're open 8 to 5 each day. We have preschool from 8:30 till 12, and at 12 we have what we call lunch bunch, and it's a social skills group. And so we take typical children and children with special needs, put them in a group, they have lunch, they play some games, and work on social skills and talking to each other.
Wow. Your location?
We are in the old Blaine Street Elementary School. So we have been here since January. We've been open since January. Right now we're using the front building for people that are familiar with the old Blaine Street Elementary School. Our adults will be located in that back building when that opens in the fall. And then of course the other building is the gymnasium.
So I know right now you don't occupy the whole building, but before long, I mean, with all these services here, you probably will need to add on.
We anticipate filling it up by the end of the fall, once school starts in the fall. We're already getting many people enrolling for the fall. Our goal for our classes in the fall is to have 15 in a class, 10 of those being typical children, and 5 of those being children with special needs. So we have a website, and it's thebridgeofgeorgia.org, and so you can look on there and get information, see pricing, see dates of camps. We have our calendar up there, and just find out more information about each aspect.
Wow. All right, what about volunteer opportunities? Do you accept people that want to volunteer or help out in any way?
We love volunteers.
Okay.
We have so many different kinds of jobs for volunteers. Sometimes we need volunteers, like with our day camps, we'll need hands-on volunteers with the children. Sometimes, we have a really big building to prepare for each facet as we add things on. So we've had volunteers in here painting, cleaning carpets, just washing down walls, getting them ready to be painted. We have volunteers in the library. We've been having a book drive to fill up the library. They left us with shelving. It's a wonderful library, but we want to fill up our shelves with books. And so we've had volunteers in here gluing in pockets and logging in all the books as we fill up the library.
So if they have appropriate books that would be appropriate for the need, then donate those books?
Yes, children's books and resource books, but we also have a source in Tennessee that's going to allow us to trade books. So if there's other books that maybe they're fiction, you don't know if they're ones we would want, you can bring those and we can trade them for more children's books. So we do have that source. we're so thankful for the volunteers that have already been in place. We've had several Saturday work days and just been amazed at how the community has come out and just helped us with just mundane tasks, just helping us get things ready.
Right.
And it just looks a little better every day. People will come and say, I've got 3 hours, can I help you? And
wow.
They'll paint and sand and
Yeah.
but then we do have many other jobs, just folding flyers to be mailed and working with children and many different things.
Great. Well, this is such a wonderful thing here, and I know the families will be blessed to have the bridge here in Walton County, because I know, as we shared earlier just in conversation, it's hard for a family to travel if they have a child without special needs and then a child with special needs, to get this child here and this child here and then appointments out of town. So you're going to have so many opportunities right here in this building for that family. So I think it's just a wonderful opportunity, and anything that the partnership can do to help build the bridge or continue the bridge here, we would love to partner with you to help with that. I know we're already partners, but a new partner with the bridge. So anything that we can do, and I encourage you all to visit the website to see what all is going on here, and contact Tammy to see if there's a need for you to volunteer here. Like she said, she loves volunteers. Anything else you'd like to add?
We appreciate the community. We're excited about having this right here in Walton County, because there's such a family feel in Walton County, and we feel like it's a good place to have such an inclusive environment, because we feel like the community is just so accepting. And so people have said, why Walton County? It's so small. But we believe Walton County is the perfect place for it.
Great. Well, any questions you have for Tammy, and you want to call me and just kind of ask the questions, I'll pass your questions along, or you can contact Tammy directly. But thank you for watching today. As always, have a good week. I know it's spring break here for the kids, so we don't have any kids here. They're here for camp, but maybe next time I have you on, we will have some kids interacting on the video.
That'd be great.
As always, thank you for watching.
Hello, this is Jody Johnson here with the Recreation Report. Glad to see that spring is finally here, and our baseball and softball has begun. Playing a lot of baseball and softball games at our Criswell Park here in Monroe, and at West Walton Park in Loganville, and the South Walton Park and Social Circle. We've taken the week off here for spring break. A lot of the families have asked over the years that we try to take off for those people that want to take a vacation. So we've done that. So this week we have been off, but we'll start back the week of April 8th and continue on through the end of May to around school graduation. And then we'll have our countywide tournament, and then All-Stars will begin again. Our soccer season's also going well. And so we're doing well with all our spring sports, which brings us to our fall activities. Registration will start on May 13th through the 18th. As always, our registration fees are $75, and that covers all the umpire fees, the uniforms, all the things that you need to participate in the events. We'll take care of all the field maintenance, and all you have to do is basically bring your kid to practicing games and have a great time playing recreation sports. It's one of the few bargains left in the business. So we also have our fishing and casting contest coming up at Meridian Park on Saturday, April 27th, and at Matthews Park on Saturday, May 4th. So look forward to having your family come out and catch some catfish. Some of it's catch and release. We do let you keep a few. We'll have a casting contest so you can get closest to the bullseye. Different age groups, categories of the largest fish, and we have some door prizes as well. So it's a great family fun. So we start at sun up and we go through about 1 o'clock. So 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, both of those days. Again, that's Meridian Park on April 27th. and Matthews Park on Saturday, May 4th is our annual fishing derby. We also have a lot of activities going on at the community centers. We have one new program. It's our karate class. It's $65 for members to join, and you can come out and learn the art of karate. And we also have some other programs going on, from yoga to some dance classes. So go onto our website at waltoncountyga.gov, and we look forward to seeing you at the park. Also, this time of year, our pavilions start to book up. We have 14 different pavilions throughout the county. So if you're interested in having a family reunion, a birthday party, or just a family get-together, call one of our recreation centers. You can also get that information on the website at waltoncountyga.gov and reserve one of the pavilions for your special event. It's free to use the pavilions if you go out and they're not reserved, but for a larger event or just an event that you want to have those pavilions, we encourage you to go out and get a rental, because if someone does come out while you're just having lunch or whatnot, you would have to let them have the pavilion for their reservation. But go out and utilize the park. There's a park near you. We have an icon on our website at waltoncountyga.gov that you can go out and find parks. We have them all throughout the county. Of course, we do have our larger athletic parks. We have 4 of those throughout the county. But the smaller neighborhood parks, as we call them, passive parks, they're scattered all throughout the county. Our newest one will finally be finished within the next month out at Good Hope, and that is a pavilion, a playground, a small ball field. We hope to put a walking trail out there soon. So we're continually trying to provide parks and areas for you to exercise, whether it's throw a frisbee or even to take your dog out on a leash, of course, and play around. We want you to be able to utilize the county land like you would like. So until next time, thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Elaine Oakes, Director of Keep Walton Beautiful and the Walton County Recycling Center, joining you with this week's edition of the Walton Waste Watcher Report. I believe when we talked last time, I had mentioned that the Document Destruction Day that we were going to sponsor was going to be changed, and we now have our date. It's going to be Saturday, June the 8th, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Carmichael Drugstore parking lot up near the front of the parking lot. We very much appreciate Lindsay group out of Bogart. They help us with this event, and they donate their time to us to enable us to do this for the citizens of Walton County. We will also be partnering with, like I said, Carmichael Drugstore and BB&T, Crothers Mill, and Walton C&D Landfills will all be working with us on this. And we have been told by Lindsay Group that customers can bring in 2 banker boxes per vehicle. So that's the limit that you have. If you end up having more than that, you would have to get somebody else to bring in the additional boxes to help you out on that day. Once again, I want to say a very special thank you to the Lindsay Group, because this is about the 3rd year that we have done this, and they have been wonderful to give their time and efforts, and bring their truck over here to allow citizens to be able to get rid of some of their private documents in a secure and safe manner. If you have any questions, please give me a call at 770-267-1421. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control. First, we want to let you know about some of the upcoming rabies clinics that are coming up. Twice a month at Tractor Supply in Monroe, they do discounted vaccines. The next one coming up for April is April 20th. And there's no reason not to go. It's just a $10 for your rabies vaccine. Very important that you get that vaccine. From time to time, we do impound raccoons and other animals that test positive for rabies, so you want to get that done. Also, we're heading into spring, and those animals are going to be coming in heat, and we really need your help. We don't want litters of puppies and litters of kittens, because it's so hard to find homes for them all. So there's a list of discounted spay-neuter clinics on our website, but there's also the Atlanta Humane Society is coming back to Walton County with their mobile clinic in June. It's going to be June 26th and 27th, and it's only $25 to have a dog or cat spayed or neutered. So no reason not to take advantage of that. Yes, that's 3 months from now or 2 months from now, but it fills up quick. And so you want to go online or call the Atlanta Humane Society at 678-517-2143. Schedule an appointment for that low-cost mobile spay-neuter clinic that's going to come back to Walton County. And so as always, if you don't have a pet or you want another one, you can come down to the shelter. We're open Monday through Friday from 2 to 5 for visiting hours, and you can also window shop online at waltonpets.net. And now we'll show you some of the animals that are here. This is Belle. She's probably 1 year old, maybe shepherd and Catahoula mix. She just came in, so she's still a little bit scared and not sure of her surroundings, but she'll snap out of that and be ready to go into a good home.
This is Tori. She's a Staffordshire Terrier, and she's about 2 years old, and she's beautiful, white with brindle. Got this beautiful pink collar on her. You can see how sweet she is. We have a 3-year-old pit bull. She's already spayed. She's super sweet. She loves people, lets me walk. She needs a good home.
And this is a 1 year old German Shepherd mix. She's got a little bit of a skin problem, but that's no big deal, just with a little bit of vet care. She seems to be a real sweet dog and is really pretty. She's ready now for a new home.
This is a Walker Hound mix. She's probably about 3 months old. She's looking for a good home.
We have us a little black with white sable type domestic medium hair kitten. And she sure does want to be with somebody. You hear? Yeah, okay. If you're interested in kittens, think of us.
Do you have a collection of films and videotape sitting in your attic, basement, hall closet, or a box somewhere that are being lost to time? Creative artists can transfer your 8mm, Super 8mm, and 16mm films, as well as converting your VHS, CVHS, 8mm, and mini DV to DVD. Preserve your family's video history for the generations to come. Creative Artists, 1113 West Spring Street, Monroe, 770-267-7368.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon test and keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
Making it green is making sure the air in your home is healthy for your family to breathe. Make sure you test your home for the presence of radon. It's easy. To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN. Preserve your family's health and well-being. Get your home tested. Now that's living healthy and green.
Green, green, green. It's your home, it's your dream. Radon test and keep it healthy and clean. Make it green, green, green.
To learn more, call 866-730-GREEN.
Creative Signs, we make large and small property and business signs, full-color, digitally printed banners, as well as vinyl lettered ones for celebrating special events. Yard signs for selling your home or making special announcements like your graduating senior. Turn your vehicle into a moving billboard with vehicle lettering or magnetics. Creative Signs, Monroe, 770-267-7368.